Too many dreams, books, millionaires, ideas, skills, unfinished accomplishments are in the grave. Take a moment and think, what am I doing between the dash? You have to move right now because tomorrow is not promised. Join the Divine Connections movement in a couple of ways. 1, download the app for free. 2, subscribe to Divine Connections magazine. 3, if you have a book, a product, a service, gospel music, business, health and wellness product, church, or anything creative, join the Divine Connections Movement VIP and make a commitment to join a network that supports others, give you major exposure, customer retention, and customer engagement. To find out more about VIP, text 336-338-8903 or email divineconnectionsmagazine@gmail.com.
Businesses all across the planet are looking to make connections with people. Well, guess what? Divine Connections magazine is helping businesses not only walk in their purpose and passions, but to get connected to their potential. That's right. You've got to connect to your potential, and you can make it happen now because it is time to know your worth. As you get connected to people all across the planet, Divine Connections magazine will make it happen. And get featured in the magazine today and get your copy now, because there's no other time than a divine time to get connected to Divine Connections magazine.
Great day, everyone, and welcome. I am your host, Deloris Williams, CEO of Divine Connections magazine. So Divine Connections magazine is a faith-based and inspiration magazine that comes out quarterly in print as well as online. We connect with different businesses, entrepreneurs, gospel artists, praise dance, moms, vendors, anyone that's doing something great in the community. And then twice a year, we do 2 big events, one in March, one in October, or somewhere around that area. So March is my 14th magazine anniversary coming up this March 30th at 11 a.m. in Hall River, North Carolina. There are going to be gospel groups. There's going to be a panel of men and women, and then we're going to have vendors as well. We're going to come together, celebrate, give God all the honor and all the glory, network, and give him all the praise. It's going to be phenomenal. You don't want to miss this. So I want to pour back into people in the community who are making it happen. Many times we go out and we minister or we share our businesses and resources in the community. So Divine Connections takes the time to celebrate you and to pour back into you. You simply have to register with one of the options. You can register with 3 options. One being 65, it gives you a business card size in the magazine. The next one is 150, it gives you a half-page ad in the magazine. And then the next one is 250, it gives you a full-page ad in the magazine. So if you would like to attend, we would love to have you there. And if for some reason you can't attend, you still want to advertise, you can do that as well. The ad runs for 3 months, so it still gives you opportunity to share your business with the masses. Okay, so check this out. This is a little sneak preview of what's getting ready to go down March 30th. Awesome. So listen, mark that calendar, Saturday, March 30th. Go ahead and get your tickets. I'm telling you, it's going to be phenomenal. Now, here is the thing also. We also have an online store, over 100 products. And so we have mugs, shirts, jackets, and all of that. But I'm going to let you get a little glimpse of that so you can let somebody know that they are a Divine Connections. And that's bit.ly/Divine Connections store. Check it out. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So check that out. Again, that date is Saturday, March 30th. I look forward to seeing you there. If you're in the North Carolina surrounding areas, listen, I'm telling you, don't want to miss that. It's going to be some phenomenal things. God is already moving. And so I'm excited about what's going to be at my own event because I don't know everything, but God is going to show up and show out. So I'm grateful for that. All right, so let's get into it. How do you stay connected with divine connections? You have any questions or want to know about the events or the broadcast, text 336-338-8903. Then our email is divineconnectionsmagazine@gmail.com. For tickets, you can go to divineconnectionsmagazine.com/events. Okay. Make sure you stay connected. Go ahead to our website and join our email list for updates and news at divineconnectionsmagazine.com. Go to our Facebook page at Divine Connections Marketing, our Instagram at Divine Connections, and our YouTube channel is The Divine Connections. Make sure you go and subscribe and click the notification button as well. If you have not ordered your copy of Divine Connections the magazine, it is here and available for you. So get your copy. There are a lot of great connections and information and resources on the inside. You can do digital or you can do hard copy. And then you can be featured in the next magazine. So more information about that is at divineconnectionsmagazine.com/special pricing. Listen, if you want to be a sponsor on the show and you have a 30-second commercial about your business and organization, and if you are a good fit, I would love to talk to you about being a sponsor. We run that for 3 months before or after our interviews, so you can get more exposure to people, to let people know who you are and what you do. So email us at divineconnectionsmagazine@gmail.com. I'm also blessed to have my second book, which is The Key Connector: How to Build an Empire Helping People. And so we talk about my accomplishments, about my personal as well as my business life with the help of the Lord. I cannot do it without him. So all the accomplishments I've done is with him. So you get to hear how I do what I do, building what I build with the Key Connector. All right. So it's on Amazon, it's on Walmart.com. And you can also order it from me. And of course, it'll be at my event. So definitely stop by and get a copy. Okay. Now, if you need a 30-second or a 60-second commercial for your business or your organization, if you have a business, a ministry, a book, a gospel group, or an event, we would love to customize a 30-second or 60-second commercial for you. Definitely let us know what you do, and let's see how we can connect. And we want to help push your brand as well. All right. By doing so. Also, we have our journals are now available. You can go and get that as well from me, be at my event or the link below. And it's called Making It Happen. You are a divine connection because you are. We write the vision, we make it plain, we execute, and we celebrate. God is going to do some phenomenal things this year. And we want to take the minute just to write down our goals, our desires, and our dreams. Work towards it. Okay. You got to put the work in, put the prayer in, and then look back at what God is going to do. He's really going to bless you. And so we look forward to that as well. Don't forget to download our app from your Google Play Store or your Apple Store at Divine Connections Magazine. Download that to stay connected as well. And then also our store is bit.ly Divine Connections Store. All right. So go shop in there and let somebody know that they are Divine Connections, and then let yourself know that you are Divine Connection because you are. Now, another thing that I'm doing this year is bringing men together one day, and we are networking, and they are talking about taking the mask off. So that's usually the third Monday at 7 p.m. You want to tap into that. And then we do one for the women. So the women link is below. It's bit.ly join /join women who are divine connections. And tonight, February 28th at 6 p.m., we are going to be doing the women tonight. And so stay tuned. Go ahead and get the link so you can get our Zoom link so you can be on tonight, meet other women, encouraged by other women, support other women, listen to the guests that we're going to have, and allow you to get some resources, the connections, and how to take care of you. Because women, we need to know how to take care of us. So we do a lot. And so this time gives you a time with other women, and they're sharing and, encouraging. So I look forward to seeing you there. All right. Last but not least, we have our marketing promotional package going on right now. So if you want to market your business, I'm doing a special package right now. You get a 30-second interview. You get a 30-second commercial. You also get a half page in the magazine, and then you also get an email, your information sent out through an email blast over 5,000. All right. So go ahead, connect, get the service. Why it's on a special right now. divineconnectionsmagazine.com/services. We'll share all that information with you, and just follow up with us. We would love to, and we're ready to serve you. So thank you. Take all that information into consideration. And now we have the one and only John J. Sims in the house, and he's doing phenomenal things in the community. So will you help me welcome the one and only John J. Sims? Great day. How are you?
I'm doing well, Deloris. It's such a pleasure and an honor to be on today. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm excited. I'm doing well today, and I'm excited for the show as well. Thank you.
Awesome,
Thank
awesome,
you.
awesome. Yes, exactly. So I'm definitely excited to have you on, because you're actually the professional. I just kind of play around with stuff, but you're the actual professional that knows how to do a lot of things. So maybe you can get tips. But tell everybody a little bit about yourself and where you're from.
Okay, so my name is John Sims, John J. Sims. I go by both. I'm an author. I'm a media and graphic specialist. I'm a deacon at my local church, and I also do youth ministry here as well. And I run a design agency called Digital Pro Designs, and I'm also a music artist. So I do a lot of things, but I like to call it I just be obedient. So
Mm,
God tells me to do in those moments because I see it as ministry.
that's
I do
right.
those things, and and in doing those things, obedience doesn't have a label on it. It's just whatever He tells you to do in that moment. So
You know what? And that's exactly kind of like where I'm at now. I went through transition of being working for years, of course, then just working part time, then the pandemic hit, and then I just decided not to go back to work and just do business full time. And so when I tell you it's a walk of faith, honey,
yes,
it's a walk
yes,
of faith. But I enjoy it. It's like I don't really plan too much. I mean, I plan things like this, but outside of that, I just kind of let the Lord lead me. Because I like I said for the event, I'm the host, but I don't know what God has planned when all the people get there. I'm just telling you, you just might want to show up. Yeah,
yes,
and that's how it
and
is.
I mean, you never know what He's going to do, and I can't imagine what the atmosphere is going to be like
Yeah,
when you're
yeah.
there. And it's like when you have those things, and it's like you're being obedient, and it's that step of each step of faith produces more or produces what He's
Mm,
leading to. So I love it when I a lot of times I think of it like even the parable of the fish and the 2 loaves of bread, 5 fish, 2 fish and the
mhm.
5 loaves of bread. It's like when they initially got it, God didn't tell them to think
Come on.
about, okay,
Yeah.
what to do after you get it, because the idea initially didn't even come from them.
Mm-hmm.
He was the one who had the idea in the first place. So all they had to do was take, 2 fish, 5 loaves, and be obedient with it. Not try
Yeah.
to figure out, okay, how do we feed 5,000 people? No, God's like, take each step. So
Yeah.
sometimes I believe he's just
That's
telling us,
good.
take each step. Don't try to think about what I told you to do after the first step. The next step is take the next step. So I think a lot of times we can allow our brains to overdo it. And God is like, if you would just be obedient, you'll be able to look back and say, oh, wow, I did that, I did that, I did that. And you'll be
Yeah.
able to give me glory for what I used you to do.
Yeah, I often look back at myself and it's like, was that me? Did I do that?
Mhm.
With the help of the Lord. So you're exactly right. But it's an exciting time though. So let's get into what all that you do. What do you want to start? Because you do a lot.
Okay.
I'm gonna let
Yes, I do a lot, but
you.
I like to let's start with the design agency. Digital Pro
Okay.
Designs has been in business since 2011. It's a brand that God gave me for when I initially started off as graphic design. I loved to just design things, and
Mm-hmm.
I started doing it about man, a little over like 13 years ago now. I started in 2009, and I officially got the LLC and everything for the business, incorporated it in 2011. So
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing it now, for all this time, and it's grown from not just graphic design, but also to, you know, um, video editing and really web design. We do a lot of web design and hosting. So our main niche that we really present to clients that we offer the most of is web design, landing
Okay.
page design, and graphic design. And
Okay.
one of the reasons why I believe we're so successful at it, and that because God has given me the illustration, the ability to communicate it. So
Yes.
at the end of the day, design and marketing is communication. So
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you how many times I've seen something, Dolores, where a person's trying to communicate, but the flyer has like 8 or 9 different typefaces on it, and so the
Yeah.
graphic is bad. And I look at it and I'm like, man, I understand the intention, but
Yeah.
this is hard on the eyes. So you're
Mm-hmm.
not going to reach your target audience you because it doesn't look clean, or it doesn't look. Have you ever imagined like going to go eat something, but then you wanted to go eat it, but it just looked bad, and
Right.
yeah,
Right.
it could have possibly tasted good, but you
Right.
actually consumed it with your eyes first. So
Right.
what happens is you can end up missing out on experiences, or unintentionally causing other individuals to miss out on an experience that you could potentially have for them that could benefit them, because those marketing individuals haven't been communicated correctly. So
Mm.
for me, that's what I've been doing, and I've been
Okay.
doing it more so full time now. And I love helping people with it, and I love just I don't see it as just a business. I call it a ministry disguised as a business.
That because what God has given us is a ministry, whichever way He just creatively gives it to us, and then connected with our personality as well. It is
Exactly.
a ministry. Awesome, awesome. So, what else do you have?
All right. So outside of digital pro designs, I'm also an author. So I've written a book called Why You Should Wait on Marriage. It is a spiritual guide to wholeness, clarity, and self development. And I wrote
Mm-hmm.
that book in order, talking a little bit about my process of going through things like breakups and serious relationships, and understanding how to handle heartbreak, not just from a male perspective, but from God's perspective, and how
Yeah.
He wants us to go through healing. And one of the things, and I just want to mention one point in it that I talk about in the book, really because it's God's perspective, and I'm very transparent with it, because I'm like, God, my stories aren't just for me. And the more transparent I am with it, the more oil you can help with other people, when you go through those things, because you don't just talk from a place of head knowledge, you talk from a place of conviction. Conviction.
Yeah.
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 So one of the points that I have in that book is I say that physical healing and emotional healing don't happen the same way.
Mm.
Physical pain and emotional pain. And a lot of times we can run into issues because we try to treat emotional heartbreak or emotional pain the same way as physical pain. And one of the
Mm.
examples I give is I got shot back in 2009. So I got
Mm.
shot with a 45, and I wasn't supposed to have, this left arm anymore. So there's like a metal rod that goes all the way up there. Thank God I
Wow.
went through a healing process, and I could use this arm to work out and everything. But
Mm.
throughout that process of the healing process, I didn't shed one tear, but
Wow.
it was painful. Felt like my arm was on fire, you know,
Mm.
and it was very, very painful. But one thing I talk about in that book is, even if I did nothing else after the doctor sewed me up and did what they're supposed to do, those
Yeah.
muscle tendons were going to heal. They
Mm-hmm.
were going to do what they were going to do automatically, because that's how the body is trained to do. You scrape your leg as a kid, as a child, scrape your hand, it's going to heal.
Yeah.
Now, what happens with emotions, as men, a lot of times we get taught that, don't cry about that, don't deal with that. It's just man up. And what happens though is those emotions don't heal like your regular body heals. If you don't
Mm-hmm.
sit, if you don't go to God for healing and get
Yeah.
therapy or whatever He's telling you to do, it gets stuck.
Mm.
End up Those open wounds end up causing adverse reactions whenever individuals unintentionally poke those wounds that they didn't know they poked. Whether you're
Yeah.
trying to hit
Yeah.
somebody, whether you're trying to talk to somebody else, whatever it is, those things inadvertently come out. So that's just one particular point that I talk about in that book. But each chapter I go deeper into how God led me through my experience, and how they can help other individuals to not have to go through that so long, and how to learn God in a practical way, and how to recover from heartbreak, and how to date in a practical fashion as well. So that's the book. It's called Why You Should Wait on Marriage. It's on Amazon as well.
I love that. I love that. And that's another reason why I wanted to do the men's gathering, because I want to have a safe place for the men to talk, to express themselves, to share. It started last year when I had a men's panel, about 7 or 8 guys talking about mental health, life challenges, things they have went through, things that I don't want to repeat for their families.
Yeah.
How to learn, you know, God's way, and it was amazing. When I had the men's panel, it went over 3 times, you know, so it was like they want to talk and express themselves, and so given the platform, which I love, and then you have a book, there are ways that they can do that, so that's exciting.
And it's another place to be vulnerable. A lot of times, it's un, unintentionally or intentionally. Unfortunately, we've gone through the process where culture says that if a man's vulnerable, he's soft. So, and I've grown up in those types of hoods my whole life. So,
Mm-hmm.
back to I don't think I finished that original point. I paused on it. I didn't realize I didn't finish it. I shed more tears than I can count when I got my heart broke, but I didn't shed any tears when I got shot.
That's
So
good.
it showed me two things. One, that not only emotional pain heals a lot differently than physical pain, but it showed me emotional pain can hurt on a deeper level than physical pain.
Mm.
Because in that moment of getting shot and having to run to a car and unlock doors with my good arm and having to deal with all the adrenaline, that was the most traumatizing physical
Well,
pain I've ever experienced.
right.
But it didn't cause me to break down and cry. Now,
Mm.
the emotional pain of going through a breakup with somebody I thought I was going to marry did.
Wow.
So which
Wow.
means that, okay, if that's a different type of pain, then it's a different type of healing process,
That's good.
which means there's a different type of strategy that God wants to lead us through when it comes to that. But if we're not willing to be able to seek Him for safe spaces or understand what that looks like, then we won't be able to grow in those areas and won't. And it unintentionally could also allow our hearts to become callous. So
Yeah.
now the devil wins because you're not emotionally equipped to be the husband, father, or mother, or wife that you need to be, because the soft heart that you had that got heartbroken is the heart that you need in order to be to steward the role that you're called to be in the future. So if
Yeah.
the enemy gets his way, it makes you bitter and callous, and now you can't be any of that. Now,
Wow.
the goal was your heart. The goal was never just to end a relationship. The goal was to prevent your heart from being willing to get any others.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's good stuff.
yeah, so that's the second thing was the
Okay.
book. I wanted to pause and give you. I didn't. I know sometimes I can go on and
No, that's good. That's good. All right, and then you have also music as well.
yes, yes. So another thing is I released two EPs last year. One is called Sunday Church. That was the latest one. And the one
Okay.
before that is called Light Verses. So
Okay.
I started doing music a little bit. And if I had to guesstimate, it's been a few years now, but probably around more so like 2013. I
Mm-hmm.
started just writing and realizing that God had given me the ability, to rap and do music. And I
Yeah.
always kind of strayed away from it because I was like, I felt like even in that age, just kind of coming out of high school, college age, everybody was doing it. Not everybody. Now it's like everybody does it. But even back then, I felt like everybody was doing it. And even though I had the gift to do it, I was like, I don't think I'm trying to do that because I don't want to be like everybody else. But then God started dealing with me about, no, every gift that I've given you, you need to use it. So He
Mm.
started giving me songs, specific songs. And now I've written songs, songs like Sunday Church or songs like Save Me, that are literally not just good songs, but these are songs that can really guide people through deliverance. So what I
Yeah.
realized is every talent and gift that He's given me is really for somebody else to go through deliverance or draw them closer to Him.
Mm-hmm.
So the latest one I released was Sunday Church, and Sunday Church can be found on Apple Music, Spotify, or Amazon, or wherever you stream your music at, under John J. Sims. And one of my favorite ones, I'll tell you my favorite song, a little bit about it. Save Me was actually, even though I wrote that EP Light Verses after Sunday Church, I released it before that one because God gave me a strategy to start taking specific scriptures and writing songs specifically based off those scriptures. So that was a difference in my writing process. Because before I would, I always pray before I write a song. And He'll give me. Sometimes I'll find a beat, and the strategy He gives me is that and I talk about this even in the radio show as well. But He'll
Yeah.
take me through a process, and I'll see the name of a beat, and it'll stand out to me. He'll start giving me lyrics. So
Yeah.
particular one, he gave me scriptures first. So Save Me is based off John 3:16.
Yeah.
And when I wrote it, I remember, and I record these in my apartment, and I mix them on the laptop and everything, and I just put them out there. But I remember after recording that one, He led me to go ahead and say the salvation prayer at the end of that song.
Mm-hmm.
In doing it, it didn't hit me how He had me do it, but as I was like typing up the lyrics to send to music match so that those lyrics can be displayed, I realized that I was like, wow, God, who I started tearing up because I was like, anybody who hears this song can say this prayer and it literally get saved, and I might not ever meet him.
Wow. Hmm.
That was just me submitting my heart to him and allowing him to say, use whatever gift. So, and the reason I do that, I'm so adamant about that, is because I believe when we are multi-talented, or you have a lot of different gifts that you have, the best way to remain humble is to give those gifts back to God and ask Him
Yeah.
how you want to use those, so that we
Hmm.
don't get, over caught up in our own abilities, knowing that they came from Him. So that song is one of my favorite ones, Save Me. And what also helped me kind of get better with that craft is that I would do, in the time that I served children's church, he gave me the strategy to take the children's church verses, the memory verses, and
Yeah.
I would write a rap song from it and like find a beat and mix it and have the kids memorize it, because they love, something that's catchy.
Mhm.
So they like
Yeah.
listen to those memory verses and do dances to them. And it was my way of, as a teacher, of helping them memorize those verses. And then he helped perfect that gift. Because some verses, let me tell you, some of those translations, I'll be like, now how am I supposed to rhyme this? But he would give me strategy for it. So yeah, that's a little bit about the music. Hopefully it blesses, anybody who wants to go and listen to some of those as well.
Awesome. 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 All right. Did we cover everything?
I believe we did. I think we did. I think you can free if you want to ask me any other
Okay.
questions, like
With
that.
ministry, you said you were part of the
Right
youth.
Direction Church International in Columbia,
Okay.
South Carolina. And I want to give a shout out to my pastors, Bishop Herbert and Dr. Marshall Bailey. I know everything that I do now, even on the external, whether it's music or authoring books or whatever, wouldn't have come. I wouldn't have had that wisdom had I not been under their leadership, and still be under their leadership.
Awesome.
So that's a blessing. And every gift that I have, I got better at it from serving, from
Yeah.
graphic design, music, writing. All those gifts got better, or I discovered them just from serving in church, and I got
Mm-hmm.
into serving like about back in 2011, and all I
Mm-hmm.
had was that one MacBook. So before I had released any EPs, before I even had it, knew what I was doing with a business or anything, God instructed me to go serve. He was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and I had left my job. I left my
Mm-hmm.
job at the time. I was a medical assistant. I planned on actually going to school to become a male nurse, and he stopped all that. He was like, "Yeah, you're not doing this no more." And it was crazy, Deloris, because I remember me being a chess player that I am, I had
Mm-hmm.
everything planned out.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
thinking, I was like, okay, as a chess player, my dad taught me how to play chess. We grew up in Brooklyn for a little bit, so I would watch him play all the time. So he
Yeah.
taught me how to play at like the age of 8, and it teaches you how to plan moves ahead, because that's, if not, you're gonna lose. To this day, he can still beat me. But it made me just think. So my whole time, I'm gonna think, I was like, okay, God, I'm gonna go to school, be a medical assistant, and then I'm gonna go, and then while I'm doing that, I'm gonna become a male nurse. This was in like 2008, and I was like, while I'm doing that, because the we were going through like a recession in '08, it was really bad. I was like, well, if I'm a male nurse, I'm always gonna have a job. So I'm gonna do that, and I'll be able to go work where I want to work. I'll probably meet my wife in nursing school. We'll get married. We'll both have a good career, and we'll find a good church home. We'll get a good house, and that's gonna be it. And he
Mm-hmm.
was like, and it was like the Holy Spirit was like, oh, okay, all right, that's what you want to do. And so I remember like started working, I was actually working at a urology clinic, and
Mm-hmm.
I just had like over time convictions just started to build up, and
Mm-hmm.
they built up like over months of time. And I was doing well on the outside, serving serving patients that came in and everything,
Yeah.
taking blood tests and all that. And I remember like just getting so convicted. And it got to the point where after about like 7, 8 months in, I remember I just broke down in tears in my car, and I was like, God, I can't do this no more. And he was like, because that's not what you called to do.
Mm-hmm.
Found myself wanting to minister to them, but I couldn't do it in the way I wanted to. So I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to talk to them more about Jesus, about the things of God. But I'm working in the doctor's office, where it's more so practicality of what I can do for them physically. And God
Mm-hmm.
to me more about what I can do spiritually. So I left there, and I immediately went to, about 2 days later, I left on Monday. I gave in my 2 days notice. It wasn't 2 weeks notice, or 2 days notice. I was like, I got to leave by Thursday. And she was like, what? And like my office manager, she started tearing up. I was like, yeah, I got to go. And
Yeah.
I just started serving. And that was really the thing that catapulted me into being able to do that, just serving God and serving his people, not knowing what was coming next.
Right.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Awesome, awesome, awesome. It's all about putting God first and foremost in everything that you do. Awesome. So, how can people contact you, connect with you in any of those website, digital website, or products, or music?
Yes, you can find me on Instagram as John J Sims, and that's just thank you for having it on screens, just the way it's spelled, JohnJaySims. Digital Pro Designs on Instagram as well, DigitalProDesigns. And digitalprodesigns.com is our website. And
Mhm.
for any music, you can find it on Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you get your music. Just type in John J Sims, the same way it's spelled as my Instagram as well, John J Sims. And if you want to find the book, Why You Should Wait on Marriage, that book title is called Wait on Marriage, Why You Should Wait on Marriage, A Spiritual Guide to Wholeness, Clarity, and Self-Development by John Sims, and it's on Amazon as well. So
Awesome.
any of those areas is where you can locate me, where you can find me, where you can get access to anything that God might be leading you to get access to.
Awesome. Love it. And let's end with some words of encouragement, whatever's on your heart.
I would say words of encouragement is to just, and I'm gonna give a shout out to a mentor, my mentor and a pastor that I work with very closely, like a big brother of mine, Pastor Chandler Bailey. And so it's something that he brands and says all the time, and it's something called "Keep the Faith."
Mm,
So I'm gonna attribute that to him. That is something we work on. I even work a part of their media firm as a contractor and a team member, and that media firm is called Chandler Bailey Media. And
mm-hmm.
you can find that on Instagram and everything as well. He's always empowering different people through media outlets, and it's amazing. But I would say, yes, keep the faith. And that word of encouragement is no matter what whoever's listening or watching, whatever you're going through right now, if
Yeah.
there's something that's on your heart that you don't have an answer to, something that is concerning, maybe it's something with a family member, maybe it's something with a health condition, whatever that is, keep the faith and trust that God already has it covered and
That's
that you're not going through this to get stuck. The key word is you're going through, which means we're going through.
right.
There's an other side. So I want to encourage you not to get caught up in the left or the right. Don't get caught up in the details of the situation. Remind yourself in faith of who God is. Remind yourself of past situations where you've got victory. Remind yourself of where God has come through strong for you. Remind yourself of who God is in your life and who He's proved you to be. And if you're having a hard time reminding, find scriptures of where God has come through for individuals in the Word and make that applicable to your life, because He's not a respecter of persons, He's a respecter of faith. So
Yes.
keep the faith and remind yourself, encourage yourself in the Lord right now. Remind yourself that joy, and the difference between joy and happiness is you can be happy because it's something that's happening around you. But
That's
joy comes when nothing is happening around you, because
right.
joy is what's within you. So remind yourself that you can rejoice because of the joy that God has placed in you because of who He is, and keep the faith. So that's what I want to tell people on the day.
Honey, y'all hear that? That's good right there, ain't it? Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for the encouragement. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for the standard that you are withholding for so many of us. This is Mr. John J. Sims. Make sure you stay connected with him. I am Deloris Williams with Divine Connections. Make sure you stay connected to the number one divine connector, which is Jesus Christ. Hold tight. We'll be right back.
Thank you, Dolores, for
Thanks.
having me on. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. I'm honored to be on.
You're very welcome. Thank you for coming and what you do. Hold tight.
Hey, we've got exciting news from Divine Connections Marketing Services. Now you can create your own custom video commercial for your business or organization. It's time for you to win. Your product or service is someone's solution, so get the attention of your potential customers now. Choose from a 30 or 60-second commercial today. Just email us at divineconnectionsmagazine@gmail.com and we can get started. Connect today and let's get started making your custom video commercial now. Divine Connections Magazine. Get major exposure for your business. Is someone looking for your service? Do you need networking? Are you a gospel artist or a ministry? Do you have a major event that you want to promote? Divine Connections Magazine has the solution for you. We can distribute to residents, businesses, churches, and online. Don't miss this opportunity to expand your marketing locally and around the world. Find out more about us at divineconnectionsmagazine.com. Get your spot in the next issue of Divine Connections Magazine by emailing us for details at divineconnectionsmagazine@gmail.com.
Make sure to like us on Facebook at Divine Connections Marketing. Follow us on Instagram at Divine Connections.
Let's get it started now.